true.
But that's the thing also with the system, right? Because I think that one of the big things, at least in my opinion, that I've noticed, this is just like my own experience. It's none of this is facts. I haven't any research, but I find that obviously it's not all minorities, but a lot of minorities have this mentality of following the structure and yeah, I can't. There you go. Let me put it this way. Following the path that they tell us we have to go through to be able to get to. You want to move up the ladder, and they tell you have to do this, 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 and that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are gonna go, "Well, I haven't done so yet, so I will have to find a way to do it, so that I can say I did it, and then I'll apply." Whereas, people who don't necessarily have like the immigrant mentality, they're more likely to go, well, I may not have done this, 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 and that, but I have done this, this, and I can definitely do this and that, and I can learn that. They apply, and you never know. Sometimes you get a job. My sister adopted like a new mindset when it comes to work. Well, obviously, she's still going to stay reasonable, with the boundaries of reasonable qualifications. But the latest job she got, she didn't necessarily have all the qualifications or like not preset skills, skill set.
Yeah.
But
the prerequisites, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, the prerequisites. And she still applied. She was like, you know what, fuck it, let me apply. This job interests me. She got an interview, they loved her, you took her. And boom, right there, you got a job that you didn't have necessarily all the prerequisites for. She wasn't 100% completion, let's say. But you know what? She's doing her job great. She got hired. Her boss loves what she does, the way she works, everything. So it's like, why do we need to like follow all those conventions all the time? Which is why I do understand that authority. Really have trouble with authority sometimes. For me, I think that personally, I think I have less problems with individuals themselves, but really more than
the structure,
the structure and the concept of it. I have more issues with entities than people themselves. You know what I mean?
I think I'm a bit of both, to be honest with you. I think I'm a bit of both. I think I have issues with the whole structure because I feel like it limits people and it keeps people from moving forward, which makes me question can these things exist without the dynamic? Can we change the way how necessary those dynamics are? I mean, going back in the whole family thing, obviously the son has to have some sort of reverence for their father. Otherwise that dynamic can work. We've seen it. It's easy to see whenever a kid, their parents are only their best friend and not their parents. The kid doesn't turn out good because there is no hierarchy. Exactly. But is it possible to still have those hierarchies and still be open for that to be challenged? Because I've been actually trying to take that approach because with where I work, a lot of the youth I've worked with are not working, and so that's actually been a challenge to me because to me I'm like, you're still a kid, you can't. You can't not be, which makes me look back on, when my parents started first seeing me work and, me living on my own, I can see how, like, that's been a challenge for them. So I'm actually going through that myself because a lot of the kids are like my own kids.
Yeah.
And so that's actually been a challenge for me, seeing them work with me in certain programs or seeing when I come into work, they're coming into work, even though they're doing a different position. And so I'm like,
wait a second.
And I'm like, because, like when I was working, when I was mentoring them, I had a certain type of relationship I maintain with them. I don't swear. They don't know about, like, for instance, even though I don't talk about it, but they'll never know about, like, my sex life, for instance, because they're kids. You're not supposed to have those conversations with them. Your mentor, right?
Right.
And now I'm not. So even though I'm still mentoring them, I'm like, okay, don't do this, don't do that. I'm still going through a different sort of type of experience with them where I'm trying to understand it.
Right.
Where I'm like, and I would try to still put them in the box.
In the box. Yep.
Because it's easy for me to understand them when I'm like,
because you are always used to them being in a certain place.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden they're moving, and so you have to adapt. But obviously, it's just the natural human coping mechanism. Reaction actually is to fall back to something because this is foreign. It's
Exactly.
new. Yeah.
We're afraid of the unknown, and for me, that's actually been unknown.
That's
So I'm
the
just
unknown,
like,
yeah.
so how am I supposed to interact with them in this new space? And I'm like, I want to put them back in a box, but I'm like, it can't be. And especially sometimes, I have to go back into a space again, where I'm mentoring them again, back in a sort of youth environment, youth mentor environment. So I'm like, where do I go? So for me, I've been really trying to take a different approach where they're still my kids, my youth, but I'm also trying to be more open in terms of them stepping out of that box. I feel like I feel like we as people, in order for those that come after us, those that are younger, those that are under than us, for us to be open for them to move forward. I think it's still possible for these frames to still exist, but people are able to easily step outside of those frames and to move on, so those relationships or our relationships with those people can change, or your relationships with those people can change for something new and different, because they do need to exist from what I feel, but like if it's too rigid and nothing happens, nothing grows.
Right. Well, because yeah, they kind of do need to exist because, well, uh, of the human factor. You know what I mean? It's like if you were to try and be like a socialist society, it wouldn't work. Because of human factor. Because on paper, it should work technically.
More so communism than socialism.
Communism actually, yeah. Communism actually, yeah. Communism is, yeah. Technically, on paper, you look at it, it should be like the most beautiful system we have. You know, the most moral, fair system out there, but it just doesn't work because human factor, right? And I think that in a way, yeah, you know, framing is pretty much in everything. We don't realize it, but even when you don't think of a frame, we still frame things in a certain way. You know, if I just say things the way they are, you will still like take it however it was said,
it will always
delivered.
be taken one way or another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However it was delivered, and so anything really comes in a frame. You know, the way you present yourself to people and stuff like that. For example, I know that, you know, at my workplace right now, I absolutely love the floor manager. He's absolutely amazing. So I tend to that very rarely happens because usually I get into conflicts with my bosses. You know, but he's absolutely dope. So whenever I see him, I'm really happy to see him. I'm like, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, and I know that I speak to him in a very, very employee way. You know, I'm putting myself in that employee box, really. You know, obviously I have my biggest focus right now is like game development and stuff, and not like my day job, I would say, you know. So I want to create, so I do know that, you know, part of it has to do with that. So it's like kind of pushes me away from like kind of going more from my like entrepreneur side, you know, like networking and blah blah blah. But I do know that I should really be doing that because I'm really putting myself in a box. But I mean, whatever it is, you know, we're just gonna deal with it. But I would say, yeah, framing definitely entails ego. Framing definitely is more than just words. Sometimes, you know, it's how you act, what you do. It's the image that you will imprint on people's minds, their conscience. That's the way I see it. So you having problems with authority and stuff like that is because maybe you may come off as somebody who's overshooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe I'm totally wrong too. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't seem like you're overshooting, and you just happen to have people who are highly insecure about their job security around you. You know, who knows really?
I think that played a role too. I would say so.
I would say that happens very often because I've had a manager in the past. He was infamous for being the most incompetent manager out there. He somehow stayed in there and got promoted. Well, he got hit by the peer principal, basically. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the guy was basically keeping like a lot of guys, like top employees in my team. He was keeping them under until he was transferred for his promotion. And then we had our new manager, and she kind of ate all the crap because then she started, giving them their dues, right? Because they were getting their promotions blocked all the time. and she was like, this is ridiculous. She basically got them all, pushed towards the right direction to get promoted. So then we're left with a pretty weak team of a lot of newcomers. She ate crap the whole time. And then next thing you know, like, she was fed up of it. She went for another position. New guy comes in. Well, by that time, new guy comes in as a manager. Well, the whole team finally settled in. He didn't have to
work as hard, essentially.
He didn't have to do anything. The transition period was done, and the team was set in stone. Basically, nothing's ever set in stone, but things were pretty much set in stone. The workflow was there. It wasn't a mess anymore. It wasn't chaos. There was nothing to like repair per se. In the work environment anymore. So then he got promoted and everything, and then there was like some big boss that talked to like that manager I told you that ate all the crap before this new guy. And she was like, why is it that when you were there, it was like this, and then now that this guy is there, it's like super smooth. And it's like, well, yeah, because no shit, she had to eat all the crap during all that transition period where she had to fix everything. She had to like build the team back up, which took a long time.
True.
And then guy comes in, and he like just takes it. It's like, yeah, obviously,
True.
It's like if she was out there just preheating the oven, and then like putting like whatever it is that she wanted to heat in there at low heat.
And like people are like, how come the food's not ready? But as soon as he comes in, the food's done.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously, So, yeah, I do have my own issues also with like the system itself in general. I find it very difficult to adapt to. Because, well, first of all, I have like this grinders mentality, right? It's like, oh, they have this list of prerequisites. I'm supposed to meet them all. I'm not really supposed to. I should be applying. I think I really believe in my skills as a game designer. And I had a discussion with like just a man that I met on break actually, who's like friends with a friend of mine. And he's working at some like other studio there, and he told me that like he was very transparent though he was speaking to me, and it's like he's working in a small studio. And he said, yeah, we have like really good artists and very good like everything, but our gameplay designers, like we're not strong in gameplay design. We need more gameplay designers. And so I was like, I should be applying. But like this little voice in my mind was like, well, you're still a student. Nobody's gonna take you. You're still a student. I should definitely be applying, because the thing is, I've always been used to. I've always had trouble with authority, but at the same time, it was always in a non-professional environment. And so, I was actually one of those guys, in fact, who I basically worked as an assistant manager and didn't get to pay for it. I actually got paid a lot less than everyone, also because I wasn't making sales in my old job. And in fact, not only did I get less sales, I was doing more hours that were not being paid. And it was like, oh, you have banked hours. And I lost like a bunch of banked hours when I got transferred afterwards. It was a shit show, and I got fucked over. But overall, I would say it's a very difficult system to get to navigate through, especially considering certain key aspects of your personality, my personality, aspirations, the position you're in, who's right over you in a way.